Let's get a preview from Isabelle Lee, joining us at the Philippine Stock Exchange in the gig. So how are we looking set up for the trading day, Isa?
Good morning, Kathy. Philippine shares powered through a three-week high Thursday. Trade and geopolitical tensions were again on top of investors' minds as markets edged lower across Asia on Wednesday. Philippine shares closed in the negative territory amid the rising U.S. Treasury yield. So after seesawing between gains and losses, the PSE index eventually closed higher by 1/3% to 74.97, with global crude oil prices potentially weakening towards the year end. Where could local stocks head? Joining us on this Thursday morning is Joey Rojas. He is the president of Eagle Equities. So do you think we will enter bear market territory? What is the floor you are seeing? In the last few weeks, we've seen record crude oil prices reach its highs. Does this concern you? Because this will, of course, affect inflation. What can we expect from the index? We breached the psychological resistance of 7,800 level, but it seems like there's still a downward bias.
All the news nowadays seems to be political. You don't really see much effort from the government.
We also have around 2.5 weeks away from the GDP report for the first quarter. Do you have an outlook for that? What are the trends that you are seeing? What are the sectors you think will outperform and underperform? BSP is going to meet on Thursday. It's D-Day, as many call it. Yeah. Do you think they will raise interest rates or not, and why? Bong, what are your views on industry loan growth? Which segments is BPI pushing for aggressively or most optimistic on?
Well, industry loan growth, Isabel, is in the mid-teens, and that's healthy.
So what is this strong catalyst that you are seeing? We're around 10 to 11 days away from the GDP report for the first quarter, as well as the monetary policy meeting of the Bangko Sentral. Do you think those two can be possible catalysts? Going now to the bigger picture, the index. Yesterday, it rose by above the 7,600 level. Do you think this optimism will continue? So why is the PSEI such in a bitter mood?
Well, you have to remember that close to half, or more or less around half of the volume that we'd seen in previous years had come from foreign investment.
We'll be back with you, Kathy, when the opening bell rings. In the meantime, at the foreign exchange market, the peso opened at 51.95. That's weaker than the previous close of 51.80. Back to you.